Designing your graphics in Ecamm Live has gotten even better in 3.9.
In this tutorial, we're going to share how to arrange your interface for easy designing, as well as share some text overlay tips and tricks.
Let's do this. Okay, so when you guys pull up the text interface, it usually looked like this. Command N pulls up the text interface. And in 3.8, it will cover our faces and it will cover the interface. Now, with 3.9, you can move it. So we're going to show you how to arrange it so that it looks as easier and all the tools that you need are accessible for designing. Now, this text interface, you can place it wherever you want. For in our case, we like it down here. Okay, now we're gonna need the color picker because that's something that we use all the time, right? So for that, we're going to recall it and we're just gonna click on the color picker. Here, this is the way we like it. Again, you can move it wherever you like it that is good for you, and you can arrange it that way. So for us, it's right here. We like the scenes panel there and the overlays panel there because it's just everything is together. You can arrange it anywhere you want to. You can do it this way also, and you can move the scenes panel as well. That looks great, Fulgence, right?
That's right.
Have fun arranging this. And what we would love to see is share a picture in the community to show how you're arranging your interface for designing inside of Ecamm Live. Now we're going to teach you how to add colors into collections for your brand. Let's do that. Okay, now we're going to add colors to a collection for when you're designing for your brand, for your customer's brand, different shows, etc. Okay, so first we're going to go to the gear icon. You're gonna click here, select new. It's going to automatically do a name. So you're going to go back into the gear icon and you're going to rename it. For the purpose of this, we're going to rename it Fulgence 3.9.
Soon to be 4.0.
Is that right? Okay. And it automatically adds a color for you. We're going to remove that by clicking the minus sign up here. Now you have a clean palette. We're going to add colors. So much fun. We're going to drag. What color do you want?
Black.
You want black. Okay. Okay, I get you.
Gotta have black in my palette.
And I know for a reason you have neon.
Right, to go with that birthday shirt.
Hey, okay. So now we have created a color palette specifically for a show, in this case, called
Fulgence 3.9.
You can add as many colors as you would like and create as many collections as you would like. As you can see here, we have officially unofficial, which is my show. We have ENN. And we have BuildingBlocks. So anytime we're designing for any of these shows, we have our color palette chosen. So here now your palette has your colors, you have your interface nicely arranged, and you have your overlays and your scenes. Have fun with it and send us a picture of how it looks. We would love to see it. Now to the next trick. Okay, this is even more fun, you guys. Let's design collections for your brands, okay? So here's how to do it. When you open up the text interface, you're going to see to the left, collections, then you're gonna have family, and then you're gonna have typeface. To create a collection, you just have to, right here, click on that. All right, and now we're going to name it, because we have to keep on theme, we're gonna name it Fulgence. Fulgence 3.9. Even though you are like what?
4.0. Yeah, 3.9.
Okay. So we're going to name him Fulgence 3.9. Now, in this collection is new. There are no fonts. So now we're going to add your fonts, right? We are going to click on all fonts so we can have them all available. Now, Fulgence, what fonts would you like on your collection?
You could do Helvetica.
Helvetica? Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go. So now with Helvetica, we know that Helvetica has a whole lot of typefaces, right? So let's say we just want to have regular, you like italic, right?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Depends on the mood.
Regular, light, or medium, right? Let's do that. So keep in mind that if you drag the entire family, like meaning here, you drag it into your folder, it's going to drag everything, that all the typefaces available. And then if you want to remove them later, it removes the entire folder. So if you had other fonts there, that might be tedious to do again. So keep that in mind. However, if you guys know of this and you know a trick on how to do it without deleting the entire folder, that would be great to know, right? Okay, so we're gonna go back. In this case, Fulgence, you want regular. So we do regular, and we're going to just drag and drop it to Fulgence 3.9. So we want regular, we're gonna go to Fulgence 3.9. I'm gonna say light, right? I'm actually creating a collection for you, Fulgence Henry.
Thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome, man. And then medium. Okay, and those are the ones that we added. So now we click on Fulgence 3.9 and you guys can see Helvetica new there and all the typefaces. So when you're designing your overlays, your camera overlays, anything, this is set for you guys already. You have your color palette, you have your font family, and the interface where you want it ready for designing. Now we have one more thing to talk about before Fulgence is going to take you guys into even more fun stuff.
Maybe a couple more things, but yeah.
A couple more things, yeah. But
I'll be patient.
Okay.
You can wait. You can wait.
So I'm actually going to show you guys how to, once you get now into designing, into the interface itself, to design, how to group your layers for easy and really fun designing. So here we go. This is getting even more exciting. Let me show you something real quick before we move into grouping. So you see how we'd have the interface already all designed for us, right? Let's say we're going to cancel it because we're going to go into the interface now, right? So we're going to cancel. Now this disappeared. But watch this. When you do recall the window again, everything just comes back for you. I don't know, man. This is a nerdy moment. This is amazing. I just love it. Okay, so now we're gonna go into grouping and creating your folder so that then you can group and move them. Okay, so we're gonna go to the interface here. I am going to create a folder right here, a new group. And in this new group, we're going to name it, because we are on brand. We're gonna say Fulgence. So it's 3.9. I should have named you 3.0 then but then again.
No, 3.9 is accurate until, 4.0.
But you said you were already 4.0.
Right.
Okay. So now we're going to create a text, just a simple border so that you can see how to do it. We're going to recall Command N again. And you see right here, it just reads text. This is the default that you will see. We're going to click on background right here to have the background available. Now this is going to be the box for the actual text, for the actual words. So we're just going to name it Fulgence 3.9 box. Okay, now that we have that labeled, we are going to lower the opacity because we just want the box itself. We're going here to our panel, to our color palette, and we're going to lower the opacity. Now we click on add, and it's right here. So we're going to, this looks good with the outfits we have on today.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
Must be the black.
So now this is another tip for you guys. You see how when we are designing, by default, we have all the commands, all the interface. We have preview mode, we have the recording, we have all of this available. To design, we want a clean interface. For that, we do Command tilde, and it removes everything, okay? That is the command, and then the little wiggly line that is right below the escape key on the keyboard, okay? So that is Command tilde again, and it brings the interface back up, okay? Another way of doing it, if you need these controls here, is just pressing the Fn key, and it temporarily disables it as long as you have the key held down, okay? So here we go. For me, I'm going to disable this. Now we have the text box. You see that it just automatically just puts it out of the folder. So you have to come in and drag it inside the folder. Now we're going to actually write the name. And we're going to click the background off. And we're going to look at, we are right on his font. So I'm going to make this medium. And I'm going to, the opacity is going to be up. And I'm going to type Fulgence is almost 4.0. Okay, and then we're going to add it. You see here? Then we're going to add it here, and we're going to make it, arrange it however we want it to. Right? Now we're going to put it back into the folder, not back, but we're gonna add it into the folder. Now this is the coolest things, you guys. Okay, this changed the game.
Well, before that,
we changed the game.
Before that, right? Mm-hmm. So just like just switch the overlays around, right? Because
oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, we do that. Mm-hmm. Got it. So this is a good thing to know, right? Mm-hmm. If it's like this, that you added it to it and it disappeared, mm-hmm. and you're like, oh my gosh. There's a little bit of freak out moment, right? But now the only thing you have to do is bring it above the layer that you want to show up. Mm-hmm. There we go. Thank you, Fulgence.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now we can do this. We go to this link right here. This is how important, this is why it's so, okay, so wait, before I go into this, you guys, it is really important when you're designing in Ecamm Live for you to add your layers inside of folders. It is so important, and for you to name them, because as you will see with Fulgence, when we create multiple layers and you want to add or change anything, it will be really easy for you to find it because everything is labeled and organized. Okay, now to the moment you have all been waiting for: grouping and moving. Here we go. Here's the link. So there is unlinked. Here, click, and it is linked. Make sure that the layers here are unlocked so that you can move them. Okay, so here we go. You move them. I mean, you guys, I can't with this. I cannot. If you look at any of our other tutorials, you would see before 3.9 what we had to do. And this is how amazing this is for everybody. Look at this. Fulgence, this looks great. I'm going to leave it right here, man, because you are not on mute. Okay. And so now I'm going to lock all of the layers. Okay, because I want to leave it there. Great. Play with it. And now Fulgence is going to show you guys how to actually have super fun designing.
Normally, when you want to use a camera overlay, you have a background, you want to bring in a JPEG or a PNG from Canva or Keynote, right? But you can actually create a background, a solid color background, using a text overlay box right inside the Ecamm. So let's do that right now. Let's bring up the text overlay panel, and we have our branded colors right now. We're using the 3.9 neon green. Okay.
It's a good color.
Yeah, it's a cool color. And let's type wall for wallpaper here, right? And just make sure that we have it spelled correctly. Our opacity is to 0 because we don't want that font to show. And let's add this, right? And This can be a little tricky, you guys, but we're going to show you a way just to simplify the process, right? So you have this rectangle here, and if we scale it back a little bit to get it to square, we can place it right in the corner, right up here, and you can drag from the corner and just bring it across the entire screen. And it's as simple as that. You have an instant background. So we're going to lock this, and let's bring Anna Fulgens back onto the screen by selecting new video overlay. There we have. And let's remove this border for us. And no corner radius, right? This way we'll just be up here like that. Okay, awesome. Right, so it's just as simple as that. You have your background, and you can add your camera overlays, you can add your text overlays, and you know, in Ecamm Live 3.9, you have your borders. Have fun, right? So that is how you design a wallpaper or a background using a text box. It's as simple as that. Now that we have our background, we're going to create rectangles that you can use for your lower thirds. But before we do that, let's go back into the overlay panel, right? Since you have your wallpaper here, and we want that to be the foundation of our overlay design, we're going to have the wall overlay at the very bottom. So we can simply take the Fulgens 3.9 and move it to the top. The cam link can stay there for now, and now the wallpaper is at the very bottom, right? And we have it locked, so it's out of the way. Okay, so let's hit Command N again and bring back our overlay panel, and this is going to serve as a rectangle. So we can literally type rectangle. Let's see if we spelled that right. Yes, we did.
Hey.
Not bad for a first try, right? And we're gonna change this background color. Now we can select something like black.
Look at this.
Black.
Those
are my colors. Look at that.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Right, so we have black. And if you want, in this case, you can definitely add a border to it, right? So we can just add a little border, maybe white, you know, see how we do with that. And that's it. Let's add that, right? So now you have this border, you have this rectangle. We could have it right down here.
Oh, look, you can even have it in the middle.
Right. But before we are going to have it in the middle.
Oh, actually.
But before that, right, we just show you some tips and tricks, right? You can, if you want this to be, you know, if you want to expand this rectangle, make it a little thicker, you can grab it from the corner and do something like this. Or you can scale it back down and you can drag it from the end to make it longer, right? So see how flexible that is and so simple, right? So you have something like this, and now it's perfectly centered. So you have that rectangle, and that could serve as your lower third. You add your text on it and whatnot, right? And then if you want to add an additional rectangle, you can hold down the Option key, right? And then you have the hand there. So now you have the hand here, click it and then drag up. Right? It's as simple as that. Now you have two rectangles, right? And we don't want this rectangle to be as big as the first one. We can like shrink it down a bit, right? So this can serve as another rectangle and have it like right above or have it off to the side, whatever you want to do. And we can change the color of this. All right, so now this we'll just pick up any random color. Let's try this one here.
And you can add it to your collection, you know?
And you can add it to the collection, maybe, you know, we're just testing this out, you know, and okay. And, you know, for OCD purposes, let's just line it up. Okay. And another thing that you can do is like, let's say you don't want this rectangle in the front and you want this here. Of course, you can always go into the panel here and switch them around, but you can also just do a right click and say, send to back. Well, you don't want to do that because it's going to go all the way to the back. So let's undo that, right? But this rectangle here, you can right click that and say bring to front. So now this whatever this color is is hiding in the back, right? And we can nudge that a little bit. And there you have it. You have an instant lower third background that you can use, right? And as Anna showed you in a few steps ago, we can actually link these together in a folder, right? So let's add a folder and let's change this to Fulgens 3.9 L3 for lower third and bring the rectangles in there. Okay. And
Beautiful.
right, and then and of course you can link them, so you could group and move these things out the way, right? So if we didn't want them right in the center, we can move them off to the side, right? So that is perfectly for there. Or we want to move our camera out the way. This way we keep some more space. We have some more space for our new lower third here. And of course you can add your text inside the boxes. You do what you want, with your creativity, right?
I just keep thinking the things that we had to do before in 3.8, before 3.9 came out, it was not that, that easy. 3.9 makes it amazing. This is 3.9, you guys.
Absolutely. And with these text boxes, there's another trick that you can do. So let's just unlink these things here. And let's say you wanted to duplicate this rectangle here. So let's bring this back to the front. And we can option drag to duplicate this, but for this case, right, let's do something here. Let's take the rectangle here and let's option drag it from the overlays panel. So we have it highlighted, and we're going to hold on option, and we're going to drag and create a copy. So that created a copy of that rectangle, right? And we did it this way because we're going to show you the next trick. If you hold down the shift key while highlighting this rectangle that we just duplicated, you can move the rectangle on the same axis. So holding down the shift key will keep it on the same axis, and you don't have to worry about whether it's going to go up or it's going to go lower. It's going to stay on the same axis as the original, right? So this helps you in designing. Just makes it a lot easier for you, right? So that's perfectly aligned with the original rectangle, right? So just a good trick to use. Just hold down the shift key and slide it over to the left or the right, and also works up and down as well. Another tip for designing with text boxes is that you can also change the opacity of the text box without actually going into the text overlay panel. And how you do that is highlight the text box that you want to change the opacity, hold down the shift key, and again, I'm using the trackpad, so you can do the 2-finger scroll up or down, and that will, scrolling up will lower the opacity, and scrolling down will bring it back to a solid color, right? Let's do that with this, whatever this color is. Hold down the shift key and scroll up, you see that, and scroll down, brings it back. The same thing applies for your background and for camera overlays as well. Some people do not know this, so we'll like to share with you guys. Hold down the shift key, scroll up, scroll down.
And it also works with logos. If you bring your logo in, you just do that shift, and then you scroll up or down. Fulgence is using the trackpad. I use the glass mouse, and so it's the same thing. You just scroll up or scroll down
while holding down the shift key, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on the shift key, scroll up, scroll down. So it's the same thing. Yes. This is so great.
Yeah. And we how we designed using, as you say, eyeballing everything, right? But you can actually use a grid, which will make the process even easier, and Anna's about to go to that right now.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to use a grid, how to import a grid and have it available for you, because for me, I like having guidelines. Fulgence just likes eyeballing it, right? So for me, I have to, sometimes I eyeball it, but it's just better to just have a grid. And if you don't have one, we have one available for you at buymeacoffee.com/Anna and Fulgence, and you can download it from there. We're giving a shout out to Rich Graham, one of our amazing viewers, and he created one for us. Okay, so here we go. Right before we start though, Mr. Fulgence, he was so excited, he forgot to add these layers.
On purpose.
I see. So we're gonna add it back here. So now we have it in there. Nice and clean. Let me take the camera out. Here we go. So now, once you download the grid, you can import it by drag and dropping into your scenes, and you're going to add it to show on background right here. See, I have grid, So now what we have to do is, you see the source here, we have it on camera. So I'm going to actually change the source to blank. Right here on source, you can select blank, camera, etc. So for this, for using the grid, we're going to select blank. And we're going to disappear for a minute. So we're going to go here. Okay, I'm going to take this off, because this is our camera overlay. And now we're going to disable the background and enable the grid. And come back. Right? So now when we want to design, this is easy because we can just move and have the guidelines that I like. Fulgence doesn't like that, but look at this. You guys can create, if you want to create cameras, for example, that are online and all this for OCD people, then I'm surprised that you don't use the grid, but whatever. We can just look at this, you guys, and it's exactly the right. And you can have many. You can do option drag, and you can have, and it is right there. The same thing for your lower thirds. Look at Fulgence, so many of us. And nicely designed. Again, if you want to download this grid, just go to
buymeacoffee.com/Anna and Fulgence.
And download it from there. Have fun. You can add it to your background so that you can always have it there. And the only thing you have to do is hide it. So here I have it in the background. Once I hide it, then I can go ahead and turn on the wall again. And look at this. Beautifully spaced out. I want to challenge you to make it like this without a grid and have it spaced out nicely like this.
Oh, don't worry. I'll find a way.
Is the challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted.
You heard it here at Building Blocks. And speaking of Building Blocks, we put another video together with the new features in 3.9. So you guys can go ahead and check that out, because we covered all of the new features for designing inside of Ecamm Live 3.9, and they are super amazing, you guys. We also come every Monday
at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can check us out live for our tutorials and come hang with us, right? Because once the tutorials are done, it becomes an after party, and we have fun and enjoy being with our community.
That's right. That's right, you guys. We hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks on how to design and arrange your interface inside of Ecamm Live, and have fun designing, you guys. Feel free to share with us in the community. We will love to see how you arranged your interface. All right. My name is Anna Hill.
And I'm Fulgence Henry.
Bye, you guys.
Peace.